Welcome back. You found Fritz. Logic 10.7.5 introduces a new feature called free tempo recording. In today's video, I'm going to document my first time testing out this algorithm. The method I'll use is by recording a single guitar to see how well free tempo can find my downbeat and how well it can stay glued to my playing, which certainly won't be 100% in time because after all, I am a human.
Allegedly.
And that is in fact the point behind free tempo recording, to impart subtle tempo changes to the whole session in order to impart a human feel that all of the instruments in the project can follow, as opposed to the static pulse of a digital metronome. So without delay, let's jump into Logic and see how this new feature performs. Okay, so here we are in Logic Pro, and I've just made one guitar track with an amp modeler plugin to record our example. To access free tempo recording mode, we just click on this arrow up here, customize control bar and display, and under the transport menu, just tick the box for free tempo recording, and then click away from this menu, and then you're left with this icon here that represents the free tempo recording mode. So, as I understand it, you don't need to mess with tempo as you normally would, or mess with any metronome settings because the metronome should not be running in this mode. All right, so let's see what happens. I accidentally glazed over this box here, but right after you're done recording, when you hit the space bar, these options will pop up, and by default, what is selected is Apply Region Tempo to Project. The reason why this is defaultly selected is because I think this is what you're going to want to use most, if not all the time, because Apply Region Tempo to Project just means that you want to apply the tempo of the audio you just recorded to the entire project. So we hit apply, then to see the changes that you've made to the project, because remember this used to say 120 up here at the beginning. To see what your tempo is, you just click on this icon here that says show hide global tracks. And here is the new tempo of our project based off of this file that we just recorded. So let's see how well free tempo recording worked. I'm going to set the metronome to on and then play it back and see how well the metronome can stick to my audio. Wow, not bad at all. The reason why I chose this guitar part is because it has these sloppy chords in the beginning and it was able to stick to it. So let's double click on this audio region here. This will bring up our editor and I'll just click on Smart Tempo over here. And here is where we can see all of the downbeats and all of the subdivisions and quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, etc. So I'm really glad that I didn't have to use this Smart Tempo editor because it's always been extremely clunky and annoying to use, honestly. And it's too bad that they had the opportunity to work on it or redesign it for this release, and instead they chose to do nothing other than add this hint mode, which basically just allows you to manually punch in downbeat and beat hints. But again, the interface itself is something that I've never gotten along with. And if you can just play your part cleanly from the beginning, then I have no reason to suspect that the free tempo recording algorithm won't be able to pick up on exactly what you're doing. All right, now let's do something that might be a little bit harder for it to follow in 6/8 and see if it just automatically adjusts. Let's see what happened. No, it's all messed up. So I think you have to tell it that you want to change time signatures. So that means you won't be able to do songs with multiple time signatures unless you record each part separately. Okay, so let's manually punch in 6/8, insert new signature. Let's see if it can catch on. it wants that to be 3/4. That one didn't do so well. I'm not even going to attempt to try to fix that with the Smart Tempo Editor. All right, so let's forget all of this stuff. This was a nice experiment. Let's just go back to our main guitar part. So if I were to construct a song based off of what we have here, then I could put in some MIDI drums, for example. So actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's add a drum track. So go to new software instrument, and then I'm going to put Superior Drummer on here, and I'm going to make a little beat. All right, so this is just a quick example of what you can do. So yeah, I go more in depth about this kind of thing in the Superior Drummer video, but having little fluctuations in the tempo like this often imparts that human quality that's missing from a lot of today's music that's just recorded to a grid. So ultimately, my first impression on this new technology is that it works very well if perhaps your playing is already kind of tight to begin with. Also, this free recording tempo mode almost seems like a more convenient way of going about something that's been with Logic for years now, which is to apply a previously recorded region tempo to the project tempo. So for instance, for about 5 years now, you can just take any old audio file, suppose you had like a recorded acoustic guitar part from your iPhone or something, and you just dumped that into a Logic session. You could take that region tempo already and apply it to the whole project tempo. This is something that I've been doing for a while. So in the end, I'm not so sure that this is a brand new technology. It's more like a more convenient implementation of something that already existed and might be a little more accurate now, based on their new updated machine learning algorithm. Nonetheless, I don't have any complaints other than that I kind of wish they did something more user-friendly with the Smart Tempo window. But hey, there's always 10.7.6, right? So what do you think? Is free tempo recording mode working for you? Do you find a need to use it at all? Maybe you disagree with me and actually love the Smart Tempo Editor. Whatever your opinion may be, I'd love to hear about it in the comment section below. And if you found this video useful or at least entertaining, then please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.